Snowy day today. It's 35 degrees. Just a little wet and sloppy, but not slippery, which is nice. The longer I live up north and the longer I have to shovel snow, the more and more I dislike shoveling snow. Yeah, I got kids for that, but nothing like doing it yourself, right? Anyway, I'm thinking of starting a series called Salty's Bits. Just little bits and pieces of my memory from my past that, for some oddball reason, they pop up in my memory that have really no life-changing experiences, but just kind of interesting, funny. And so I'll start. I'll try to keep them under 3 to 5 minutes, just kind of as a filler when I get busy and I can't upload a video that requires a little more editing. But anyway, the first bit, first couple of bits is when I worked at a grocery store. I worked at a Kroger's when I was a kid, when I was 16. Yeah, because you had to be 16 to get a real paying job. And, you know, with like withholding and paychecks and stuff like that. Anyway, I worked at Kroger's, and there was this guy or this family that would come in once a month or so, and the memorable thing about him was he had this tan, I believe is a Ford pickup truck, no tailgate, no bumpers that I remember. Maybe he had a tailgate. Anyway, it was a pretty beat up truck, and on the side of his truck was spray painted Alligator Man on both sides. And his family would go in shopping while he sat in his truck and listened to his CB, except the volume on the CB, you could actually hear it inside the store. He would park like, I don't know, three or four spots down from the front row spot, and sometimes he was able to find the front row spot because he would shop when it was kind of slow. But his family, they think about a hillbilly family and what they might look like. No shoes, tattered clothes, the whole 9 yards. That was them. I don't remember them being uncouth or loud mouths or anything like that. They just did their shopping, took care of business. I don't recall ever having a bag for them, although I may have, but it was just not very memorable. Anyway, fast forward, I don't know, maybe a year later, I stopped working at Kroger. Didn't think anything of Alligator Man. Never entered my mind again. And a friend of mine said, "Hey, let's go fishing. I know of somebody told me of a good fishing spot." So we pack up our fishing gear and go out to this place called the Dam. And so we go out to this place, and there's really no road to the dam. You just went over this little overpass bridge, kind of like this, and then you took a left turn after the bridge, and it was just kind of a dried lake bed, mud type ground, and you just drove until you saw the dam. And it's not like Hoover Dam or anything. It was just like a concrete embankment that water flowed over, and people were out there. I'd say a good 30 or 40 people out there with fishing poles and throw nets and stuff like that. Families, individuals out there fishing. you know, we didn't have any luck fishing. We spent a couple of hours out there, and you know, let's pack it up, let's go home. We're not having any luck. Well, on the way back, backtracking our path to get there, there was a barbed wire fence that wasn't there before, was up now. And we were like, what the heck? This wasn't here when we got here. And my friend's car was not the best car in the world either, and it decided to die. It wouldn't start anymore. So we're like, oh crap, you know, we're gonna have to walk to the next business, call somebody to come pick us up, call his parents, and his parents will come either tow the car or have a tow truck sent out. Well, anyway, while we're trying to get the car going, we hear a truck or some kind of vehicle come through over this hill to the right of us. And sure enough, guess who? It was the Alligator Man. Apparently, we had trespassed on the Alligator Man's property. And, you know, at first he was, I don't know, he wasn't like mad or anything, but he's like, what are you boys doing here? You know, you guys are, do you know you're trespassing on my land? And we're like, no, there was, you know, this wasn't here when we got here, and, you know, we're just fishing at the dam like everybody else. And he's like, well, you know, you shouldn't be going this way. And it's like, well, sorry, you know, this is the only route that we know. And he's like, well, you have to go down to the next bridge or something like that. Anyway, but he, you know, he understood that we didn't mean any harm. And he said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a tow back to my place, which is next to the road, and let you use the phone to call your parents or whatever. So he hooked a chain to my friend's car and towed the car to his house. Well, his house had there's no glass in the windows, you know, and I specifically remember there was like a window up high, close to the ceiling, but it had no glass in it, and none of the windows had like glass. I don't know, like in the wintertime what he did, if he boarded the windows up or what, but that was one thing I remembered about his house. And we were like, hey, you know, can we get some water? Can we, I'll just, you know, we'll drink from the hose. That doesn't matter. Well, he said, yeah, the hose is out front. So we turned the water on, and the water came out yellow. So apparently it was well water. So we were thirsty, so we took a couple of swigs of the water. Man, it was nasty. It was kind of brackish water. It was, whew, I don't know. It wasn't what we were used to at all. So anyway, the guy was nice enough to let us use his phone. My friend called his parents. Of course, that was the days before cell phones or anything. And gave him the address. And it took about 20 or 30 minutes from what I recall. And his mom got there. His mom and his stepdad got there, and they got the car running, and you know, we were able to go home. But yeah, Alligator Man, that was definitely a strange experience of my childhood that just really has no explanation. Just, there are people like that out there, and you know, don't judge a book by its cover. But he was a nice guy. I guess he just preferred to keep to himself. I guess he's like one of the pre-preppers before prepping was cool. Kind of living off the grid, you know. He had a phone though. So anyway, that's Salty's Bits for today. Thanks for watching. See you later.